All right. Good morning, all. Happy Friday. Thank you all for joining this meeting webinar. We are going to have Owners Portal and Property Managers Portal training today. And Lisa from Midas is going to go over the PowerPoint and the portals. So stay tuned.
Thank you, Neha. We're going to go over both portals today. We're going to start with the owner portal, and we're going to do some highlights of the owner portal. And then we're going to answer a couple of questions that we frequently get here at the help desk. And then we're going to move to the property portal. We're going to go over some highlights there. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to review a couple of questions that we frequently get. And then the last third of today's webinar is going to be an open QA session. So get your questions in the chat. Get them in during the whole time that I'm talking. We have additional moderators that are looking at the chat. And when we come to the Q&A portion of today's webinar, there will be time to ask questions. And so the moderators that are watching the chat will give me some more questions, and we'll just keep answering questions. If we don't get to your question today that you asked in the chat, we will be answering all questions in an FAQ following this webinar. So please send it up anyway and let us know what your questions are. And if it's not selected for the Q&A portion, we will get you an answer when the FAQ comes out on the portal. Check your portal. It will have the link to the NJHMFA webpage, and the video of today will be there. This is being recorded. The FAQ will be there. This presentation will be there. And there's also training presentations already there from the first time we did the training. So make sure you read through all training material that are already on the portal. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to start with the owner's portal first. So I'm going to highlight that compliance forms and documents link. It's at the very bottom of the page. That will take you to the New Jersey Housing website, where all the training videos and all the documentation for compliance is there. So please check that out. We're going to start with logging into the owner's portal. So the first thing we need to tell you is that there are two unique portals that are different. The owners have a portal and property managers have a portal. They are not the same portal. So you will have a login to the owner's portal for the ownership entity and a login to the property manager's portal for the management company. So they have two different websites. So if you're having trouble finding one or the other, I put them in this PowerPoint. So we're going to go to the taxcredit.njhousing.gov to access the owner's portal. If the first time you get there and you have a username that NJHFA has assigned you because you're the admin, you need to choose forgot password. The system will send you a temporary password, ask you to reset it so that you have your own password. So that is how you will always do your password maintenance, is by choosing forgot password. If you can't find your email from the system, contact your administrator for your company, or check your junk and your clutter folders. Most of the time it's in there. A lot of times these do not reply to emails go right to junk and right to clutter. So please check all those folders first before giving us a call. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get logged in so you can see. This portal is email based. So we need an email to get logged in. Then I hit the login button. And did I hit it? There we go. All right. The first thing I want to say about all of our portals, the owner portal and the property portal, is that you're in control of the display. So if you need to widen the page, if you need to narrow the page, the bubbles will move with you. So if you want a different configuration, just widen the screen or extend the screen. Also, the sizing up here in your browser zooms in or zooms out. So if I need to make it bigger, you can make it bigger. You're always in control of the size of your screen. So we're going to start today by looking at new account setup for admins if you're the administrator. So if you're the administrator and you have left the company and your company now has a new administrator, the owner needs to go to email tcpropertyportals@njhmfa.gov and attach a new updated owner certificate. On the back of the certificate, there is a contact information. It's the last page of the owner cert. And that will have your new contact information for your new admin for your ownership entity. And then New Jersey will actually, the housing agency will actually set up the new admin and get you those credentials for how to log in. Now, if you have other people within your organization, the admin can set those people up. New Jersey only sets up one account for one admin at each entity. So I'm logged in now as an owner. The ownership portal is designed really to be a view portal. It's not designed to enter tenant data. It's designed for the ownership team to keep track of the data that the property managers are entering on their behalf. It is also a control point for the owner to designate or change the property manager for their properties. So this is the home screen for the ownership portal. It gives the ownership information we have on file. It gives you a list of your properties. And then your options are over here to the left. I'm going to start off with the tenant data screen. This is a view only screen. It shows you the buildings and the units. So if you select a building and you select a unit, you will get a tenant history here. So on this unit, I have a move-in for Jane Williams. And over here on the right-hand side, I have their last certification, or the one that I have highlighted. So in this manner, you can move around your buildings and your units, and you can view all the data that your property management company has set up. This portal is not really designed to enter data, it's designed to review data. If I go back to the home screen, I can also look at my property documents screen here. These are documents that get sent up to the agency. So there is a whole list of all the property documents and things that they require from you. It's scroll down, make sure you're all the way to the bottom. It's a very long list. And I'm going to really quickly upload a document for you so that you can look at a couple of things. So the document upload buttons are always available to you. So I'm going to go choose maybe owner certification for new property, and I'm just going to upload a sample that I have here, a sample document, and I'm going to say upload. The screen will change and it will show the uploaded document that is now there. And it gives me an add page. So in case I need to append to the file, like if you need multiple pages that are not all in one PDF and you need Midas to append them together into one PDF, you would use add a page. So think of add a page as like an append button. If you just want to upload a whole nother document, you just hit the upload button again. The portal will take new documents that have been uploaded since the last time you logged in, and it will put them at the top of the screen. So if you uploaded a document down here on the bottom of your screen at some point, and then you went to upload another document in the same session, just scroll to the top. It's up here. When I log out and I log back in, the new documents is going to go away because there aren't any new documents since I logged in last, and the list will be in the order in which you're used to. So if you're looking for a document category and you're not sure where it is, scroll to the top of your page. I'm sure it's sitting there. But feel free to upload many or multiple documents into these spots. You can come back at any time and upload more documents. The system is not replacing any documents. It is simply adding more documents. So you're not removing documents by uploading more. We're simply getting another version of the document. It'll have a new date and timestamp for the agencies to view. The latest button here is how you download the document back to yourself. This document has been configured for you to see the latest one. Sometimes this blue link will say all, and that means that this document has been configured so that you can download all of the documents in this category that you've uploaded in the past. So this is a configuration setting that the New Jersey compliance staff has chosen for each one of these documents. So sometimes it will say latest, sometimes it will say all, but it gives you a way to actually see and download the documents you've sent back to yourself. We're going to go back to the home screen and we're going to look at the property manager screen. There's been a little bit of confusion here. The owner portal is designed to remove a property manager. There is nothing on the portal for you to add a property manager or change a property manager. The New Jersey agency has their own procedure for that. And so the portal is removing your property manager. So as an ownership entity, when you change management companies, you log into the owner portal and you click remove here, and it will take that management company and remove their access from the property portal. So don't remove them until they no longer need access to the property portal, because that is exactly what this step is doing. So you remove the current property manager, and then I have some instructions from your staff on what to do next. Let me see. Then you would email TC Property Portals at njhmfa.gov, and you would attach a new owner cert with the new property management information on that last contact page, right? So the last page of your owner cert has all the contact information that needs to be updated, and it needs to be attached to an email. And then New Jersey will actually assign the new property manager. And so that is in their court, not your court. And so they will actually make the change and notify the property manager that they now can log in. They also will make sure that there's an admin account set up. If this is a brand new management company we've never dealt with before, the IT at New Jersey will establish a new admin account. I'm going to go back to our reports area. I don't have time to run every report today. We just weren't given in a 1-hour session. We wanted to leave time for questions. So I'm going to demonstrate with using the rent roll report on how to run a report. And when we go to run a report, the property comes up because we're already on a property, 1, 2, 3, 4. The program is always tax credits. There is no other program to choose here, but the effective date is important on a rent roll. A rent roll report is a point in time. So whatever tenant lived at in that unit at that point in time is what you would put here. So if I just want the end of the year, I can put a 12/31 date in there and I would hit submit report. Some of our reports have exports. They export data into Excel. This happens to be one of them. It's giving me the option to create an export, so I can check that box. And then I can say submit report. And then you're going to get the message that the report's gone to the queue. It's waiting to be processed. And then you're going to get 2 outputs. You're going to get a PDF output and you're going to get an XLS output that you can download. So the rent roll report, the first one, is all about who lives in the unit at a certain point in time. The recertification report is about upcoming research that might be due, the last recertification for each unit that you've done so that you can see what you have ahead of you. The on-site audit report is a larger report that has to look at the compliance of all the units. And the out of sequence report, we really don't use much anymore, but it's for when you've been submitting transactions out of sequence, and it will bring those to your attention. We have less of a problem with that the longer that we go, but every once in a while, we're still getting some transactions that come in the wrong order. I'm going to go back to my home page. There are other screens here for the owners. There's a screen to view your requirements on every property, and there's also a way to manage portal users. So I will come back to managing more users for the portal on the property side of the fence. It is the same for both portals. We do have a little bit of a Q&A that New Jersey had asked me to go over, so I'm going to go down to that. How do I obtain login credentials if I previously had access? You have to always contact your administrator, whether you're in an owner group or you're in a property manager group. We always go back to your administrator to get access to the portal. The New Jersey staff only sets up an administrative account, one per ownership group, one per property management company. How do I reset my password? Or I wasn't given a password when New Jersey sent me credentials. You just choose forgot password. The system will email you a temporary password and then ask you to change it. Always available to you and to all your users. How do I add additional users to the portal? I will be going over that in the next section. We go to the Manage Portal Users option and we click on a green link that says Insert a New User. And how do I change the management company? That is what we just went over. We remove the management company and then we email NJHFA with updated owner cert, and they will set up your new property management on your property. Those were the big hitters for the owner portal. I'm going to jump over now and I'm going to go to the property manager portal. And I'm going to log in again. Now, I can use the same address on the owner portal and on the property manager portal. They are two separate independent portals. What I can't do is I can't set up the same email address for 10 users on the same portal. The email addresses do have to be unique for each user. And we do that for security reasons. When we reset passwords, we don't like resetting passwords back to a shared mailbox where then the password's available to many people. So each email does have to be unique, but realize the owner portal and the property management portal are separate. So if you're the same person and you have to do the ownership tasks and you have to do the property manager tasks, you can use the same email. You do have to reset your password though on both of them. They are independent. We have the same look and feel here as a property manager, but in this portal, our focus is to enter data for the management company. And so we're going to start right off with our tenant data. Let me go back one screen. I got a little bit ahead of myself, and I want to show you the link to the property managers portal. It is a separate URL. So to get there, you would go to propertymanagers.njhousing.gov. The same thing applies. We use forgot password to always reset our passwords, but the actual address of the portal is different. So make sure you're going to the right one for the right purpose. This is the property managers portal. And so I'm going to go look at tenant data. And this is how I would actually enter tenant data, not just view. So this is the same view screen we showed you on the ownership portal. I'm going to switch my little, I can get more of the screen in. So this is the same. You see your buildings, you see your units here. So if I highlight, well, the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to enter a new cert. I'm going to quickly walk through a move-in. But these are your three options: a new certification, change a certification, delete a certification. So let's start off with new certification. I'm going to choose Unit 1C. It's empty. There's nobody in there. I'm going to choose a move in. Really important. A lot of times the first transaction we get is a recertification, and that is not correct. We always need a move in, even if it's way back in time. If we have an empty unit here, the first transaction should be a move-in transaction, not a recert. Recerts are what happens after, the following year and the following year. So I'm going to start off by entering the effective date of the move-in and saying continue. And then the system's going to bring up one large screen. And since it's all together, it is going to scroll a little bit. You can use your zoom in and zoom out to get it all on one screen, but I'm going to kind of leave it zoomed in so it's a little easier for you to read today. The really important things, the effective date will come from the date that you just keyed in. It's not changeable once you get to this step. You keyed it in on the last screen. The household size automatically populates for you when you add members. So again, that field is grayed out. It won't let you add things there. It's going to count how many members you've added to the household. We're going to go to the designation. Very important that we know, is this a low income unit or a market unit? The system goes through quite a lot of checking and testing. And if it's a market unit, we really don't want to do that. We want to just say this is a market unit or this is a low income unit. I believe if it's not specified, the system will try and qualify the unit. But it's much better if you actually designate what you're entering here. The other check boxes are, if they apply, they're just a lot of additional information for the New Jersey staff. The rent fields are required. We've had a lot of questions on tenant rent, so I'm going to go over a little bit more here on tenant rent. We put in the tenant rent and the utility allowance, and you can see the last few rent fields calculate. Again, we don't enter in those. We do want to know if you have assistance payments, though. When you enter an assistance payment, you have to come give it a type so that we know what kind of assistance they're getting. There are 2 fields for assistance because sometimes there's more than one, and you can separate them into 2 different dollar amounts. And then, of course, non-optional charges have to go in the non-optional charges. There are some times when we have a very subsidized property with a lot of layers that the tenant rent is 0, and it's truly 0. The tenant is truly not contributing to their rent because it's being subsidized in a lot of different ways. So the portal manually, this screen that I'm sitting on, will not take that 0 rent. Because when we used to do that, we used to let 0 rent come through, and then everybody just stopped entering their rent. They just put in income and moved on. So we had to put in the audit to make sure that we get the rent. So if the rent is 0, the workaround is to put in a penny or a dollar or some very small amount like that. And then that signals the New Jersey staff that this is a 0 rent, and you'll probably be getting a follow-up. 0 rents, they do happen, but they shouldn't be the norm, right? Sometimes that's just your property is very subsidized and you will have more than maybe another property that is not. This qualified programs area is your set aside and your income limit and your rent that maybe you're using in your software. Or if you don't have software, it's what do you think the rent is, the income limit or the max rent. And so I'm going to edit that line and I'm going to say in my software, or the set aside I believe this tenant meets is the 60% set aside. And that income limit is whatever it is, and a 60% rent, and that max rent limit is this. This is just for information for the New Jersey staff so that they can see what you have on record for the maximum income and the maximum rent for this area. That's it. That's all we have to do for qualified programs. I'm going to enter a new household member. Well, the name is going to go here. Head of household. Have to have at least one head of household. So please don't enter a whole and then not have a head of household. There has to be at least one. We do want a Social Security number, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And there is a reason for that. MIDAS system tracks who you're certing and who you're not certing. And so if on a move-in, we get one Social Security number, and on a recert, we get another, we assume we missed something. We assume this person moved out, you have a new person who moved in, and the system errors. So always give us the social number. Don't leave it blank in one instance and then fill it in another. Just get into a habit of always filling it in. It will make life a lot easier. I hit the green check mark to save data, and it's going to open up the race and ethnicity details. This is a required field. You can say decline to provide. So if you don't have the information, you can always hit decline to provide. If you choose nothing, you're going to get an error. It's not going to let you go forward in the process. So again, a good chance to check everything out about this household member. If you need to add another one, you simply click the plus arrow and add another one. You can see my household size is now 1. When we get to the income and assets screens, you have to have your household members entered first because it's going to ask you to select one. So I only have one in my dropdown. It's going to ask for the type of income and the total amount of income. Same with the assets. They're going to ask us for a household member that belongs to, and a description of what kind of asset it is, and the value, and the current status of the asset. And so this is the 7 bubbles. I tend to do them in order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And don't forget your additional family members here. If you need more than one, click the green circle. Now there's a continue button at the top of the screen. There's also a continue button at the bottom of the screen, whatever's more convenient for you. When you're done entering your data, you hit continue. If there's missing required data, at this point, you will get a message telling you, I'm sorry, but the rent is required. Go back and enter it. And then it won't actually move forward. If you get the submit button, and no errors, you need to click submit. At this point, do not click the back button. Click submit. Until you've hit submit, you haven't really entered a full certification. I have to really harp on this because when we don't submit and we just close our browser or we exit off, we're creating a problem that later we'll have to come back and fix. So for right now, always make sure you get all the way through the process and submit. On the submit button, waiting, make sure that went. When it comes back, it will say processed right here. So one of the things in the FAQ that people ask about a lot of times is when this comes back and says not processed. Sometimes we bail out early on that certification screen and we don't actually finish it all the way through. And then the system will say not processed, and it will put a date entered here of 12/31/999. So if you see those date entered, weird date, why do I get an all nines date here? That's because it didn't finish the whole process on the certification. Really easy to fix. You go into change a certification. So I'm still sitting on John Williams. I go into change certification. All I have to do is continue, submit. And it will process the certification, and you will no longer see the 9's date here. You will see today's date here. That's how you know everything entered fine. Now, the NAMA people who submit NAMA files do not see all this because they don't actually come to these screens and they don't actually submit data. So in our NAMA files, I do have to tell you that the 0 rents will be okay. That NAMA processes data differently than our screens do. And so the only people that have to worry about putting the dollar in the rent column is the people who manually enter their data. NAMA will take all of your data from your system and pass it to my system. Okay, deleting a certification. is sometimes needed. If you've entered something really wrong or in the wrong order, you can delete the certification and start over and enter it again. Order does matter. We want to move in first. We want to recert next. We want to move out before you move in another tenant. All too often we see just a certification come blowing through for a brand new tenant we don't know anything about, and that will cause errors. And you'll hear from your compliance staff on that. So always send us a move out. Always send us a move in before you start sending us certs on a different tenant. That would clear up a lot of some of the data quality issues that we see. I'm going to go check my Q&A. I think I hit them all. I have a little Q&A that the agency wanted me to go over. I'm going to just kind of go through. In the PowerPoint, I do have some more screens here. The PowerPoint will be on the website, so you can get the details in your hands after the meeting. Our NAMA upload, we support versions 4, 5, 6, and 7. We are not to 8 yet. We're trying really hard to get to 8, so that some of you are ready to go for 8. But right now we submit 4 through 7. There is a small issue with 6, and it's a NAMA issue. It's nothing I can fix. And so if you're seeing some 6 errors that you can't get around, one, always talk to your software provider on NAMA errors. They have the best information to how to fix those errors. So send them the Midas error report off the portal. Every time you upload a NAMA file, you will get an error report. If it's clean, great. If it just has warnings, great. Warnings are just informational. But if it has errors, you should be submitting those back to your software support center, whether it's Yardi, whether it's RealPage. I talk to those people on a regular basis. So if they can't tell you how to resolve those errors, they will call me and we will tell them how to resolve those errors. We want you to be using your NAMA import. It is really important. It's the best information we get comes through that channel. It's actually cleaner and better than what we get through manually entered data, just because there's more human error involved when you have to manually enter something you've already entered in a lot of places. So please use your NAMA imports. If you're having trouble getting going with NAMA, please talk to your software vendor and tell them to call Midas. We will help. I help properties all the time resolve their errors and make them efficient and effective using NAMA. And so it's worth it. It's worth the time to work with your software vendor. Like I said, I have contacts at all the software vendors, and we do communicate on a regular basis. So they will be able to call me and we will figure out your issues if you can't seem to get by your error log. All right, I'm going to catch up to, I made sure I put lots of screen prints in here on how I did the move-in so that you guys can follow it when you come back and review the PowerPoint. We did talk about the 12.9s issue that you might see. Check your error report. This is where you're going to find it. It's going to be in the tenant data upload screen. There's a little file cabinet right here and right here. So your XML file saves. It's right here. And your report saves. Please do not send the XML file in an email to New Jersey. XML files have confidential, sensitive data, like Social Security numbers, in them. You should never be just attaching them to emails and sending them around. Your XML file always saves, so you don't have to send it to your compliance officers. They can see it in Midas. So as soon as you upload it, it's saved in the system, and your New Jersey compliance officer can go look at it if they need to look at it for you. You don't have to send it to them. Your error report is here. And so you always get 2 outputs here, your XML file and your report. Really important that you always check the error report, because you uploaded something that may not have uploaded. You might have an error and that might tell you the entire transmission didn't upload. There's something really wrong with the XML file. We can't read it. We don't know what you sent us. We're not uploading it. Or it could be one transaction. If a transaction looks okay, we're going to upload it. If the next transaction looks okay, we're going to upload it. But if the third one doesn't, we might skip it. And all that information's in your error report. So if you ever look at your error report, you won't know that maybe some of your transactions didn't make it because there might have been a problem with them. And solving those problems is imperative into getting your NAMA import working the way it should. Okay, we just talked about this. NJHMSA has a list of common errors for NAMA imports on their website under your compliance portals link. There's a whole button there for NAMA file issues. So if you haven't seen it, click it and get some information on the most common errors that we've seen. And if you put some questions in the chat today, I'll answer them. So if you're getting some really annoying error, put it in the chat. I will get you an answer, and we'll put it in our FAQ today. So really important that we attack any kind of data issues that we're having. All right, reporting is the same on the property portal as it was on the owner portal. It is exactly the same. There is no difference here. And so I can go back to my home screen and I can see reports here. The document screen actually works exactly the same as well. I can go to my property documents screen from here, and now you can see both of those. One I uploaded today and new documents since the last time that I logged in will come to the top. And if this is troubling you a little bit, you don't like to see these new documents since I last logged in, log out, log back in, and they'll go away because you've kind of acknowledged, okay, I've seen them. And then you'll get your regular list in the regular order. All right, back to the home page. How am I doing on time? Whew. 3 minutes. I got 3 minutes. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to just go forward a little bit. I think we've gone over all of this. I'm just making sure to the end. We talked about the tenant data. Yep. Going to go back to, I think the PowerPoint has some Q&As for me at the very end. So I think I'm going to go back to my Q&As at the very end. Same question. How do I get credentials? Very popular in the help desk emails. You contact your administrator. Every management company has one. And if they change, we're going to go back to the owner portal and we're going to start that process of changing our property management company. If I have a transaction showing 1231.9s, it means that you were probably entering it manually on the portal and it didn't finish, something happened, it didn't go through. You need to go back to the portal, do a change certification, and just all the way through the submit button. We don't generally see 1231.9s when we use NAMA. Again, our data comes in best when it comes in through NAMA. This is usually just indicative of people who manually key their data. How do I resolve invalid rent or invalid subsidy? Again, the invalid rent errors when we have a rent of 0 is something that HUD does not like to see 0 rent. And so that's why it's flagged here. And we also want people to manually enter their rents when they're on our portal, entering transactions manually. So just put in a penny, put in $1, and the New Jersey staff will understand that to mean this is a 0 rent unit. And we already talked about changing a management company. I think we've hit some of these topics several times. I am 1 minute ahead of schedule. Yay. And I'm sure I didn't answer all of your questions today, but I tried to at least show most of the owner portal and most of the property portal. But I am here for another, 20, maybe a little longer, minutes to just answer questions from the chat. So get your questions in, even if I don't get to them in the next 20 minutes or so, we will get them in the FAQ. And if you're getting a specific error that you can't figure out, that's okay to put it in the chat. We will get back to you, and I will answer questions on NAMA errors from the chat. because I really believe this is your best way to get us data. This is being recorded. It will be on the compliance site. And all of the New Jersey documentation is at that link at the bottom of every screen that I was on today. There's a link at the bottom that says compliance forms and documents. And it has all our training videos. It has PowerPoints. So if you haven't seen it and you're struggling, I would start there. And then we'll be updating it with this webinar and another FAQ to hopefully help you along. So Neha or my moderators, what kind of questions do we have coming in the chat?
Sure. So thank you, Lisa. Thank you so much. Thank you all for putting in your questions. I pinned some of the questions and I'm going to go over them. And some of the general items. The owner and PM portal, they are totally two different portals. So if you have the same email, it's fine. But you cannot have the same email on different accounts on the same portal. Okay, so if you get locked out or if you think you are getting the error message because you're in multiple accounts, just hit that send email to help desk and someone will reach out to you, unlock you, or tell you there are two accounts, multiple accounts, and then which one is the correct one. Okay, that's the biggest question, the question that I saw multiple times. Where is this presentation and the training? We are going to put this training and the presentation on the resource page. I did send the link on njhousing.gov. It will be available within 24 hours of this training. Okay. Property portal and owner portal, they are two separate portals. Owner's portal is just for viewing mostly. For the tenant data and stuff, uploading document and reporting, you can go and do it. But property manager's portal is the one that you'll be using most to upload the data or change the data. Property portal and owner's portal both have admins. So primary person who is the admin on our database is getting all the information, SDRs from us about the account user agreement and everything. And they will be the ones, setting up other accounts. There's no limit on the other accounts. You can set up as many accounts as you want. You can set up the account type. There is admin account, there is regular account, there is view account. There are different security types. So admin can set it up. For any reason, if you cannot log in, you got to go to the admin of that property and then get the user account from there.
Do you want me to show that screen? Do you want me to show that screen really quick? So I'm logged in as an admin here on the order portal, and you go to manage portal users. And then, oh, I'm so sorry. I timed out. 1 second here. Let me get logged back in and I will bring that screen up for you and show you where that link is. Manage portal users. And I can say, I think I have right here, insert new user. This is where you would go to insert a new user. So this is the green link, insert new users. And like she said, you can make as many. There's me. It's what I'm operating under right now. And the security role is, if I say edit the user, I can drop down and look at my available security roles, owner portal user, or I'm the owner portal admin. Although that was that came back as a recurring question. Sorry, Neha, keep going.
Sure. No, that's a good show. Because we get a lot of help desk tickets about, I don't have the account. What do I do? How do I get the account? Now, there is a link at the bottom of the page that says register. If you're a new property manager, new owner, you would go and register yourself. We say that within the 5 days, someone will reach out to you. Most of the times we ask for the documents. So someone from the TC compliance email members, they will reach out to you and ask for the supporting documents. we set up the account only after those documents are verified. Okay, so there is some time that's for the review and back and forth, but someone should reach out to you within the 5 business days once the registration is done. The other question that I saw repetitively about the certification and how often that should be done. I think Lisa or someone
Sure.
from the Tracy
I
compliance.
think compliance is looking for an annual recertification every year. But all your properties might be a little different. Some of your properties might be giving us a self-certification annually. Some might be giving us a verified certification annually. But I think the answer is annually. They're looking for, so every year you should have a transaction, right? You should have some kind of transaction every year for your tenants. So if you haven't entered anything in over a year, it's probably a problem. And again, our moderators are answering questions in the chat. So read the chat. They know better than me. We have some TC compliance expertise on the chat. So make sure you're monitoring those answers coming out of the chat today.
Thank you, Lisa. So on the certification, and we're going to compile this list of questions and put it online as FAQ for the questions that are repeated many times. And we do have FAQ section on the resources page, which is more general right now. For the reports, what we have on the reports menu, you can check them out. There are some good reports. For uploads, tenant data and NAMA files, we have the tenant data upload through NAMA files. I don't think we can do the certificate upload. Lisa, you can confirm that?
The way we handle a cert, if you need to see a cert, or if your compliance analyst needs to see a cert, it would be under property documents. All the documents that you can upload are all in one place under property documents. And so if your New Jersey team has set up one of these document buckets so that you can send up certs when they need to see them, this is where you would do that. And so on property managers portal, same answer. I'm on the owners portal. And so if there's a bucket here that allows you to send up a tenant cert, this is where you would do that. We don't actually have another screen or a button where you send up the cert. It would be under property documents.
So that's for the documents and the certs you're entering, for the tenant, like recerts or move in, move out. That's Lisa already went over that. There are some questions about if you're looking for a specific thing and something that you see it's not working, definitely there is a send a ticket to the help desk, which is a link right there. The first link at the bottom of the page, which is the resources. If you go in there, you find a lot of the forms and documents, the resources required for the compliance. And the third link I already said about it. I think Jason has been answering a lot of the questions. Jason, if you have something that you want to talk about based on the questions that you answered.
I'm okay for right now. I'm just trying to follow the questions in the chat. So anything in specific that you want me to address?
No, I think you did good. I mean, I saw a lot of the questions answered and some of the TC basic questions, compliance basic questions. So I'm good with that. Some of the questions, we're still looking at them. We will definitely upload in the FAQ. So you'll get the presentation, the FAQ, and the training video uploaded on the website, njhousing.gov, on the link that I sent, and you'll be able to go from there. Another thing that we have seen on the back end that whenever somebody enters the certification, if you create the new record, so if you start a new certification and if you don't go through submission, then it's going to have that as Lisa said, 12319999 record. A lot of the times that record is the one that's creating a lot of problems because it's not completed. So the first thing, I mean, if you are facing any issues on the certification or on the data side, see if there are any records that says not processed on your screen. And if they are not processed, you need to go and follow through next, and submit it. So it's processed. The portal processes the record, unlike in the old times where we could do it in the back end. Skipping the years, I saw a couple questions that if the research is not done over the years, and if you go to more current years, that's again compliance thing. I don't think it works that way if the tenant is continuously staying there in the unit. But again, this is compliance thing.
And the portal, your NAMA files can send back data. And we've been a little more generous on the portal files about sending back data too. So if you're missing something in the past and you're being asked to put it in, the portal will allow you to put it in. And so, get those missing transactions entered. Might be a recert, it might be a move-in that you're missing. And so if you give me a back move-in on the portal, it will take it and it will reprocess all the way up to present. And that should go a long way in helping you get your tenants qualified on the Midas side.
Okay. One more thing that I noticed that missing properties. We have gotten a lot of calls or the tickets on that. When a property is missing, when you don't see the property that's supposed to be on your portal, you send ID help desk or help desk ticket, right? What happens in the back end, we go through the verification. At times, the TC team sends you email with more documentation, or the ID help desk sends you an email to provide owner cert or provide the contact information. And then we set up the property manager or on the property. If the property manager is not set, owner can remove the property manager, but owner cannot set up the property manager because there is a verification that's required in the back end. And that's what we do. And that takes a little bit of back and forth. If we did not get the owner's cert or proper information, the management company is not set up for that property, and then they will not see the property in their list.
There's also another caveat to that. One is that the property is just not in there, like at the admin level, right? So if an admin logs in and they can't see a property, then yes, then we're waiting on initial setup. But if a user logs in and can't see a property, that's a different issue. So if you go into your managed portal users, if you're the admin, on the bottom here, since I'm on the owner portal, I don't see it, but on the property managers portal, there is another screen here that says properties. And that screen is where your admin has to give you rights to see a property. So if you are not an admin and you can't see a property, the first person you should go to is your admin, because they can give you security clearance to see that property. So maybe they set you up and they just didn't give you any properties to view. Then you'd come in here, you would log into the property portal, and you would actually have nothing here in your managed properties bubble. And that is something your admin can correct. That does not need to come back to New Jersey. Your admin can give you rights to see properties. and has to give you rights to see properties. So you, as an admin, if you're the admin for the property management company, you are granting access to other people to come in, view tenant data, enter tenant data, and you are doing that by the security role you gave them, and you are giving them access to specific properties. So those are really important things. And so if you're not doing that, that is where you'd find it is under Manage Portal Users. There is a section to actually attach the properties that your people can see and can work on.
One more thing that from the backend, the tickets that we receive, whenever you're sending something, please make sure that you send the snippet with the address on the top. So the address line where it says property managers portal or its owners portal, that will help us also, who is logged in. Like here it says Midas, right? Midas account on the right hand side. That tells us who is logged in. Sometimes we have seen that, if someone is using another account to log in, we won't be able to figure out what is the access level because it's different from who is submitting the ticket to who is logged in. So the whole picture of that screenshot, that will give us more information and we don't have to go back and forth asking for things. Any error messages you get, yes, screenshot of that error message with what I've just specified, that will make it easier to debug and we'll be able to get back to you sooner. Okay. I think I took the ones that I pinned in. Again, the information will be available on njhousing.gov within 24 hours. You can refer back to that. There's already some information, some training videos available there. That training happened in the past, and the presentation is there too. Yep, and for everything else, we have sent an email to help desk. Let's see, Natasha. Natasha, you have something you want to talk about?
Thank you. There I am. Good morning, everyone. I don't specifically have anything that I'd like to discuss, but I'll touch on a few a few things. So I noticed that we're getting a lot of questions regarding properties that are not linked or not showing under the admin in the property portal. So it sounds as if these properties need to be linked under the management company, and these can be handled through an IT help desk ticket, or please contact your tax credit analyst. The assignment list is also on our website. So the link for compliance forms compliance forms and documents here at the bottom of the page, bottom left side, that will take you right to the compliance page. And that's where all of the compliance documents are, including the tax credit analyst assignments for your properties. It's the third bullet there. So if ever in doubt, you can always reach out to your tax credit analyst and we can provide assistance as well. The other thing is there were a lot of questions regarding the links for the portals. So if we can just quickly show that, it is on the website as well. It's not in the compliance page.
Right.
So it's
So-
under developers
See-
or asset, developers
You-
or asset management. If we, actually, we need to go to the main page.
Main page, yeah.
There it is.
Homepage.
There it is. There it is right there, but they could see it from the main page. Low income housing tax credits. Right under there, it's LIHTC compliance portal.
Portal.
Okay.
Mhm.
So this is where all of the training presentations are. The owner's portal, if you click on the plus sign to expand it, access to the owner portal is here. Access to the property portal is here. The training presentations are here. And the one we've done today will also be posted here. You also have presentations on a lot of the other questions, how to add accounts, create accounts, as Lisa has mentioned. But you can access the portal from here. The portal's here.
And this is the FAQ from the first
Yes.
webinar we did, and then we will be adding another FAQ from this one.
Yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And you can go from the home page. So if you go on nthousing.gov, there are a couple of places that you can go to this page.
Page.
Yeah. So if you go down a little bit, there's a quick link in the low income housing tax credit, the last link. Yeah. So that's the link that you can go with too.
Right. And then also regarding the NAMA files, there is a troubleshooting tips on the compliance page as well. So we're going to hit compliance. Okay. NAMA file issues, click here. So you want to look there if you're having NAMA file upload issues, look there to see if those are some of the issues you're experiencing, and hopefully they will help you resolve them. Okay. Most importantly, if everyone would please familiarize themselves with the website, with the portals, begin to use it, because as you know, 2025 data submission date is coming up. And, we want everyone to be as successful as possible in submitting their documentation and tenant data to us in a timely manner.
Yes. One more thing I want to add when you are reporting the error. If it's property related, please do include the property number, unit number, or the property name. Be as specific as you could be. So, we don't go back and forth. Sometimes it takes us 5, 6 emails, and we all are busy, right? So we can reach, sometimes we can reach the user in time, and that takes longer to debug. So what is the portal? Who is logged in? What is the property you're working with, whether it's a name, LIHTC, or the HMFA number? And then, what is the issue? So issue specific is if it's security related, specify who and what type of security. And if it's property related, the exact section where you are looking at. So screenshot will help there too. Okay. All right. So I think we are a little over time, but this was a very good webinar, as well as good question and answers. We hope that we got all the questions covered. Anyway, we are going to put the FAQ and cover most of the ones that frequently asked. We'll have this video presentation and the other resources available on the page we showed within 24 hours. Okay. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful weekend. All.
Yes, thank you, Lisa.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.